Hello, YouTube. I don't want people to get mad at me. But how can I stop that? How can I control that? Let's talk about it right here, right now. Let's go! So, I was talking to my new flatmate today. So I asked him, what can I do? How can I talk about my complaints in a polite manner without hurting someone's feelings and without getting them mad? Because obviously what I want is talking openly and talking about the problem, talking about my complaint. But even if it's just small things that bother me with people that normal people would just say casually.
Oh, mate, can you just do your dishes after you cooked?
I just overthink them overnight, and it's giving me panic and stress and panic attacks, and I just get so freaked out about something small like that because I don't want to hurt someone's feelings. I don't want anyone to get mad at me. I don't want to have arguments. I don't want to have problems and conflict. So it's stressing me out so much that I just, instead of doing something and actually facing the problem, I overthink it so much that it becomes this big catastrophe in my head that I end up not saying anything at all because I have so much anxiety about it. So I said, what can I do to avoid someone having a negative reaction on me? And as obvious as this will sound to most of you, to me it wasn't. He said to me, you cannot change how they react. You can give them everything you want to say, but you're not able to change their reaction. You're not able to control how they take what you say, how they interpret what you say. I can use the most careful words. I can write them down. I can have a very reflected letter of everything that sounds completely rational, and it sounds like it's us, it's not you, you know? I'm feeling this way, not you are this way. And they can still take it differently. I remember with my ex-boyfriend that was the case so much. I would reflect everything and I would just try to break it down into rational reasons and be like, I just want to let you know that I'm feeling this way because XYZ happened. I don't want you to change as a person, but maybe you can change the type of words you use in this specific manner because it hurts my feelings. And he was just like, blah, 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 blah. And he took it in a very, very negative way, which to me made me really scared of saying anything I was bothered about, because even though I was trying to say it in a very nice way, it still got taken very, very negatively. So when my flatmate said that thing that I basically have no power over the reaction someone will have when I say something, that was kind of the most frightening, but also the most freeing moment ever. Not ever. Because that takes the responsibility away from me as a person. I can say to myself that I said everything in a very respectful way. I made things clear. And now I'm taking the power away. And the reaction is on them, which is scary. But it also means it's not my fault. Why am I like this? Why am I so stressed about little conflicts? Why do I get so stressed about telling people what I think, telling them my opinion, making boundaries? Where normal people would just say it in a quick way, they wouldn't even think about it. The thought comes up and then they just say it out loud and then they go and move on. And I think about it before I do it for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then I finally say it, and then I get so stressed and I panic while I'm saying it, and then even if the person reacts in a very, very neutral way, I'm still stressing out about it afterwards and be like, maybe I could have said it differently. Why? I was raised in a household in which everything you would say or do could cause an explosion. Everything I said could be taken against me. And sometimes I could say something and would cause an explosion. And sometimes I could say the exact same thing and I would get complimented for it. So as a kid, it was really confusing because sometimes the right things were wrong and the wrong things were right. And then the next day, everything was all different again. So it felt like the human being I was living with was completely unpredictable. So now that as an adult, even when I want to talk about things that are minor, I'm still anxious as because I still have this unresolved trauma of that little inner child inside of me that is always waiting for a person to explode in front of me for no freaking reason. As a kid, you're powerless. And when the storm comes up, you just have to surrender. And you will survive, not without scars, but you will survive. But now, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm supposed to be a grown-up. 22 years old. I'm living by myself in a foreign country. I need to act like a grown-up, which is really difficult when your inner child is a little bit broken. And you just have never learned how social interactions work in a healthy way. I just want to cry so bad right now. I don't want to blame the people I lived with. I don't want to blame my parents. I don't want to blame my household. I know that the people didn't know better at all. Like, it's no one's fault. And it's my responsibility to find a way to deal with this now. But it's still the reason why it is now. So I can imagine that a lot of people struggle with this as well, because so many people grow up in very, very scary households. So even though you were powerless as a kid, today you have the power to walk away. When you try your best, when you respect someone and you use careful words and you speak calmly and respect their boundaries, and the person still disrespects you and still doesn't care about your boundaries and still yells at you, then you're probably hanging out with that person because it triggers your inner child, and that's what you learned is love. You have to be aware that this person is not treating you well, and now you're not that child anymore. You are in power now. You can choose this situation, this repetitive trauma that is coming back into your life over and over and over again until you learn. Until you learn that you deserve better than this. And that you have the power to walk away. You always need to do what's best for you. What's safe for you. And even though an unsafe situation might feel like home to you, it is not safe for you. And it's not the best for you. You deserve so much better than that. So much more. The fear we have today, with conflict, with people getting angry at us, is still the same we had when we were kids. But today, we are in control of our lives. Today, when the storm arises, we don't have to wait until it's gone. We don't have to hope and cry and scream that we will survive, because we can just walk away. We don't have to wait for it to end. We can just go somewhere where the sun is shining. Don't let someone else control your life. You are always worthy of respect, no matter what you have been through, no matter what you've done in the past. It is your birthright to be worthy of respect. And no, it is not always your fault. Remember that. So much love to you. And I hope everything will be fine. I hope that you choose what's best for you. Take care. Stay safe. And have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye.